DOZHATOLDYA.COM. We're back. Back with Jodie Smith. I'm Dame Doja, Doja Told You Radio. The Roll Up, Part 2. So we've gotten the beginning, the origin stories kind of out of the way.
The beginning.
And now, the creative, let's talk about the Book of Real Shit.
Oh, right, that's my baby.
That's the baby. Okay, the Book of Real Shit, when I first heard it, let me share a story with you guys. Matter of fact, time out real quick. I gotta fix something. All right, so back to my story.
What is the story? Because you always got a good story. I think you could write a book, I'm just saying.
The Book of Real Shit, you told me that you were gonna do the Book of Real Shit, right?
Mm-hmm. I've been talking about it for years.
And you had this journal, or you had a Book of Real Shit.
Yes.
And it was like, I'm gonna write a book, and I'm gonna call it the Book of Real Shit. I'm like, well, Jodie, everything is the Book of Real Shit with you. Like, everything is the Book of Real Shit. Like that's you.
That is.
And
who I am? Real shit.
Not to be, well, yeah, to be frank and I guess a little selfish. I like to be about real shit too. I think I embody real shit.
That's why the book was important.
And so it was like, but I laughed when you first said it because it was funny because you would say things like that. Like, I'm gonna write a book of real shit. Or, I really love Tupac. I love that.
I love that man. I do. Everyone that knows me, people even on Instagram send me Tupac pictures because they know how much I love him. It's important. Tupac is important.
And it was like, wait, he's not even here. God rest his soul.
Oh, I miss him so much.
God rest his soul. But you would speak about him like your name was Jada.
Honestly, I think that was my husband in a past life,
Oh man, so when you even say, I just had to throw that back out there or whatever.
The man I love,
say was gonna come back.
He's coming to find me if he comes back. Know,
the person she's in love with is Tupac Shakur.
Yes.
To the core.
My late husband.
And you can even tell in some of your writing.
Yeah.
In the Book of Real Shit.
Yeah.
It's like you're talking about him.
Yeah. And his work definitely inspired me, just like it inspired everyone.
I've read Rose Through the Concrete.
Yeah, that was such. I remember reading that book in 8th grade. I was so touched by it. I've always written poetry. I remember writing poetry back when I was in 4th grade. I'd enter competitions and win competitions as a poet. And I just would write it because I'm not an expressive person verbally, but when I write, I can write someone literally a whole book to tell them how I feel about them. But when it comes out to saying it, it's just like, oh my God, I'm getting anxious. But I've always loved writing. And when I read that book, it really, really touched me to my core. Of course, I loved his music, but his writing, and a lot of people don't verbally express themselves. A lot of people don't talk about depression. A lot of people don't talk about anxiety. And I wrote the Book of Real Shit when I was actually going through depression. I was pregnant. I found out a lot of things about my child's father at that time. And of course, we've grown from that. But in order, in the Bible it says if you have an idle mind, that's the time where the devil can attack you the most. Yeah. So I wrote a lot of these poems when I was depressed. And if you guys have read the book or, are going through depression, it definitely touches on a lot of depression. And, people have written me letting me know that it helped them through depression. Some people have told me they read my book in 12 hours. And when I was pregnant, going through depression, finding out a lot about a situation that I was in, writing poetry helped me. And like I told y'all before, I dropped out of college. I dropped out of FAMU. When I got pregnant, I got back in school, finished school. I ended up graduating with my bachelor's in communications at FIU. I did go back, moral of the story. I was poor, but Lord, look at me now. I dropped out of school. Eventually finished. I got back in school and I was pregnant just to keep my my mind occupied. And then I wrote this book. I remember the girl that did the cover, shout out to Chris Lanise. My friend is an artist, a visual artist, and she did the cover. And I remember telling her, just like I told you, I was like, I want to write a book. I had maybe over 200 poems. And I always used to write. Whenever I felt some type of way, I would just write. I'm like, oh, let me write. And I'd feel so much better. But I remember even telling her about the book. And I was so depressed at the time when I was describing what I wanted the cover to look like. I just busted out crying. I would cry all the time. My friends were like, oh my God, I've never, even like Hollywood, she was like, I've never seen you like that before. You're usually always so happy. I was like, it just, like, the sadness was just eating my soul. So a really unfortunate situation birthed a very beautiful book.
Yeah.
And that's why I say everything you go through is never for you. I was just listening to Joel Osteen on my way here, and he said your scars become your stars. And every time someone writes me, it's like,
scars become your stars.
Yeah. That's why you got to talk about it. And people don't like to talk about depression or anxiety. But every time someone writes me and lets me know, like, oh my God, you got me through a depression, or I really appreciated that. That's when I was like, dang, everything I went through, I'm like, that was the purpose. And even the person that hurt me, my child's father, we laugh about it. I respect his feelings now. He told me about where he was at that time. I told him about where I was at that time. And now we co-parent beautifully together. And you always have to remember when you're going through things, it's just a moment. But out of that moment, birthed the book of Rashid.
So, how you turn your a journal, a book that a coping mechanism,
Yes,
into a book of art.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the publishing phase. What was the step?
So I self-published both of my books, and I think I went that route just because I didn't want anyone to take credit for my creativity. I didn't want them to read the poems that were in the book of real shit and tell me like, oh no, you need to change.
You can't change this.
Yeah, I'm not changing shit because I felt like that.
Because of the name of it, for one, it's like, wait.
Yeah, I wanted it
this is beautiful, but.
Yeah, and a lot of people try to talk me out of changing it. Even my mom, she's like, well, why would you name it that? And that's when you have to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and people love the title. You know, I have, some people that are like, oh no, you might not be able to, sell your book here because of the title, and that's okay. That might not be my title. It
actually makes people pick the book up.
Exactly. So I self-published for that reason. I think if I was a rapper, I'd probably be independent, but I don't want anyone I don't want no one getting paid off of my creativity. The book was what it was. I'm not changing no poems. A lot of things that I even talk about as far as like the things that Black people experience in America, I wasn't going to change that neither. Like, Black people have went through a lot of turmoil in America, and I don't want anyone to make me water down my feelings. And that's why I self-publish through Create Space.
I picked your book up.
Thank you for always supporting.
I was going to pick it up automatically, but it was like, after just owning it, right, I carry it with me. It's just, I don't know, when I read it, it's a soothing read. I haven't read it I've lost it like 6 months ago. I haven't read it in a while. But for a Black man, I picked it up when dealing with all types of anxiety. Yeah. And you write about it. You write from a comfort. Some of the poems, I'm not good enough to kind of go to the actual poem, but I know, like, I was like, dang, like, it makes you feel like someone understands you.
And I think that's why it was important for me not to water it down. I don't ever try to be that poet, whereas I have to rhyme everything. Every poem in there, if I didn't experience it, someone in my life did. And I didn't want to water everything down and make pain seem like, oh my God, pink, and it's so beautiful.
But it was before George Floyd. It was before a lot of, not that we just not started going through racism in America, but it was, I say that you speak almost as if like it was coming, so to speak.
I think we experience so much, but Nina Simone, she always says an artist's duty is to represent the times. And I mean, I know we've already experienced so much. We're experiencing so much now, and I know years to come, a lot of Black boys and girls and men and women are going to experience even more. And I want people to be able to read the book of real shit and be like, okay, this is how they felt. This is what, occurred.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. If we don't write about it, if we don't talk about our feelings, like no one's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. And I think that's why I love supporting other Black authors, because they are representing the times, and we need that. We need that. We need that content. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book, whether it's a painting, we need that. And the book of real shit, that's my baby. Pharaoh's number 1, but the book of real shit's number 2. That's my second show.
And it works for, women come over and they would read it.
Men, yeah.
And
men have written me too. Like men going through divorces.
They would want the book after, and I was like, yeah, that's it. But then on to Flowers in the Garden.
Yes, Flowers in the Garden. This book was also important to me. So the title came from, I really believe we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And I do believe like this world, it's God's garden. And I think God sends us here as seeds. And it's your duty, it's your purpose to become a flower, whatever plant you
we're
want
the
to be.
flowers in the garden.
We're the flowers in the garden, but a lot of people don't ever become flowers. They stay seeds because, for one, they don't think they could grow, or they're in the wrong environment, or they're around people that are not beings of light. So I think once you become that flower in the garden, that's when I think God takes you home. But you got to become a flower. Like everything, just like an orange, like you might see a seed and it's an orange, but you don't know it's an orange until that seed gets in the right environment. All of us already have the potential to become whatever we're meant to become, whether it's a rose or whatever it is, but you have to place yourself in the right environment. And Flowers in the Garden, that's why that title is called Flowers in the Garden. I think people probably thought I was going to be talking about roses or some things like that, but I always wanted to publish all of my poems, and Flowers in the Garden are a bulk of my poetry. And I think it goes from a transition to being a seed and then blossoming into that flower. So, if you're really like poetic, you'll see that transition. But that's what it is becoming really who God sent you here to be. So I hope a lot of people become that flower and don't just be.
And let's talk about, okay, so I got you. So if I'm a flower in the garden,
you're living in your purpose.
What can I do to water myself? How can I water these flowers?
Yourself? How can you water yourself?
Right.
I think a lot of people don't have like a morning routine, but you have to do. I always say every day I do one thing that makes me happy. I'm an avid thrift store shopper, so if I'm passing by a thrift store, I'm like, oh, let me just stop in real quick, see that. Or some days, every morning I listen to Joel Osteen, or every morning I light my incense, drink my coffee. You have to have a moment for yourself. I think everyone in our generation is like always on go. If you're not doing this or not doing that, you're not, you have to have that moment for yourself. And just like you pour into other people, you have to take the time to pour into yourself. Do one thing you love for yourself, even if it's just sitting outside drinking coffee. Whatever it is, you have to pour into yourself just as much as you pour into other people so you can remain that flower. And surround yourself around beings of light. If you feel like their energy is off, it probably fucking is.
Yeah.
Step away from those type of people. Like, be around people that like are happy to see you, that are like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're working on this. Surround yourself around positive people, positive energy, because it really does make a difference. It makes a difference. And people that water you, that speak life into you.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, someone just said that you do have to be deliberate with your happiness.
So yes, you do. Because no one out here is going to make you happy.
And even when you experience happiness, you have to know. I'm trying to think in my mind who I just said this, but they said that they literally will record the things that made them happy. Like what I was doing, what I was eating, and don't be afraid to go back. I think it's Derek Grace that said that. That's
to go back and review it?
To review it and go back and go to your happy place.
Yeah.
So it was Derek Grace. He was like, Like, shit, I like, well, drugs, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I go to my happy place.
You got every day.
And then I go back to tackling the day.
Yeah, you have. If you don't, like, there's still, like Tupac said, my man, you know, it literally is a full-time job to not go insane. So whether I get incense crystals or I call a friend or I go to the thrift store, you literally have to do something to make you happy. And I think a lot of people in our generation are waiting for someone to be their hero, waiting for someone to make them happy. That's too much pressure to put on someone, like, oh my God, my happiness is in your hands. I'm gonna drop it. I don't know how to make you happy. Come happy, come at peace, and we create more happiness together. That's too much pressure to put on someone. Like, oh my God, you make me so happy. Whoa.
Right.
Now I'm scared, you know? But do something for even if it's just hanging around one person that makes you happy.
So as a life, like, basically, I'm hearing this, like, and I already experienced this good energy, and I think I'd like to give good energy. But being a life coach, how do you decide that I could be? Did someone tell you or come to you and say, "Hey, be my life coach," or did you say, "Hey, I think I could help someone"?
I just like my friend we were talking about, I was like, yeah, I got my certification, and she was like, girl, you were certified from God. You've been a life coach your whole life. And I've always been that person. Like, people will literally call me and they'll joke and be like, Eliana, fix my life. I'm like, what happened now? But I've always been that person. I've always been that friend. I've always been that family member. Like, if you're sad, like, call Jodie, you know? So I think during the pandemic, I had so much free time just like everyone else. I was working from home, and I just had that time. I was like, let me just get certified in it, you know, so I could be knowledgeable on the things that I should say, shouldn't say, and knowing the difference between
Definitely took on, I got a certification during the pandemic.
Oh, I think everyone did. It's like, yeah, you got free time on your hands, why not? I got into fitness, and I was making soaps, I was making lotions, hair, all types.
Soap? You still make soap?
I don't make soap anymore, but I literally have dabbled into everything. Like, my creativity just blossoms. I wrote a lot, worked out a lot, rode my bike. I was doing all type of things just to keep my mind safe.
Like, you definitely are creative, and even I appreciate you just being so unapologetic and also just creative, and like you said, wanting to own your own things.
Definitely, always will.
All these things that you do, it's inspiring for another creative, you know what I'm saying, me. So,
and you inspire me. See how light, this is a happy moment?
Right.
Happy moment.
So do that shit. Do that shit.
It's never too late. If you want to know how to write a book, hit me up. I'm sure he'll drop my Instagram and all that stuff, but I'm always here to spread knowledge. There's so much room for all of us. So
now, okay, so you're fixing lives. And
fix myself, always fixing myself,
always working on yourself.
Always working on myself, yeah.
But I feel a but. I'm gonna throw the but in.
Okay, what's the but? Let me take a sip of this cupcake one.
You live in Jacksonville and you're a single mom.
Yes. Ooh, child, that's a handful right there. That's a book right there.
Like,
woo, child.
Like, can they not handle the truth?
Who, the people listening?
I mean,
or people in Jacksonville in general? Dating?
I mean, it's the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
So you lived in Atlanta, you lived in Orlando, you lived in Tallahassee, you lived in Tampa, you lived in Miami. You're Canadian.
I am, and I'm Jamaican.
So, like, are you waiting? Does the man have to be Canadian?
No, he does not have to be Canadian. You know what? I think why I'm single, but I think he has to have a lot of heart. And like I said earlier, like, I hear what people say from their heart, not from their mouths. So I think in this generation, everyone's just looking. Everyone wants to see what it looks like. No one wants to know what it feels like. So it's like, if you're an attractive person, or if a man has a lot of money, like him. Do you?
And see, that's what's beautiful because I just got that. I just got that. Like that was. Everyone wants to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And no one wants to know what it feels like. Know what it feels like.
Yeah, you gotta get to know.
Oh my God, the jewels! She's dropping these jewels.
That's our generation. Like, if you look good on social media, you drive this type of car, you got this type of job, people fuck with you. But it's like no one takes the time to get to know your heart. I always say, like, people are like, "Oh my God, how's your day?" I always ask people, "How's your heart?" Because you look nice on the outside, but how's your heart? And just like they say, even with sex, like, people, I know our generation has casual relations. That's not something I try to take part in because a lot of people are battling demons. And you would have been happy on Monday, then you sleep with this person that is battling all type of things. Now your energy, you brought your frequency down because you're allowed to share your space with someone that wasn't in your same spiritual realm. But our generation, as long as it looks good, they'll keep up the facade. But I'm not willing to keep up a facade. If you don't.
So is it you see through the facade too easily?
I do. I'm a very
it turns you off like these red flags that these people act like they don't like, but they actually love.
Yeah, like the guys are like, "Grand Rising Queen, sir. You have a soul of a pauper." Don't even, you have to be able to read those things. So
I don't say Grand Rising, but that's why people say that's toxic. Cause
no, I don't think it's toxic. There are some people that genuinely are on that frequency, on that vibe, but there's some people that are just toxic and they don't exude the energy that they're speaking from their mouth. That's why I say you have to listen to people's hearts. Don't listen to what anyone tells you from their mouth.
Or what they're showing you.
Don't listen to anything. On social media, everybody's life is good. They're not going to tell you about the depression. They're not going to tell you they got $5 in their account. They're not going to tell you that they're not ambitious. They will, probably not even their cars. Probably not, all of that stuff. Get to know someone for who they truly are. Yep. And you have to pray for the spirit of discernment. And I always pray for that. And so I'm single because I haven't met anyone that I'm not equally yoked with the men that I've been meeting. Like, I could, meet a guy and be with a man and it will look nice, but does it feel good? Does he know how to pray? Are you going to take the time to get to know my son? When the days that I don't know how to pray, do you know how to pray? Do you know God? Are you ambitious? You don't have to have money, but like, are you ambitious?
Right.
Do you want to go somewhere in life? Like, what's your plan? But nowadays, as long as it looks good, let's do it.
Right, let's do it.
Let's do it. And that, for me, is a no. I want like a really passionate love. I guess that's why, too, I'm a writer. I want a really poetic, passionate, like, if you're not obsessed with me in a good way, if we're not obsessed with each other, why are we here?
But
why are we here?
Okay, so
what's your take on this generation? Like, how do you feel women are? Because I can give you my perspective. Like, I think what I see on both sides.
I feel that I don't have enough. I never have enough to be in a relationship. I can't afford the woman that I feel that
you would want.
That I yearn to have. Even when I'm up, I don't necessarily feel like I have it just yet. And it's hard, but for a long time, before I talk about generation, I'm just start within. Yeah. But with that pressure, that came from broken home. Mm-hmm. And me, I was raised by my father. I don't have maternal instincts are not strong with me, so I'm driven to the logic, to whatever the goal is, and I have put my relationships second, and that's not. I should never put.
Well, what were you putting first? Your career.
The career, which was the chase for a status, based off of me thinking that I need to have
these things,
all these status symbols.
Yeah.
And even being in Atlanta and acquiring and being around them, I started basically just not even fit. I would sense ingenuineness of people. Of
you heard
things.
what was coming from their heart.
I don't like VIP, like the people that just they throw at us in the VIP, and I'm all cramped up. I love the people, but so it was a clash always.
Yeah.
But with the generation and social media,
it's a monster.
It's like I think that women have bad judgment initially, and I understand why they have bad judgment.
Yeah.
I can understand why it will look good, and you will go with what looks good and not what feels
good. Yeah.
And
I always, you have to, but you know, I just, when you said that you didn't feel like you were in the right place, have you ever thought that maybe those women couldn't afford you as far as your mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, God has reason for everything, but sometimes they might not have been able to afford you if you think about it on like a mental level. Like just me even just conversing with you as a friend, like they might not have been on your same frequency, though you might have thought that you didn't have things. Your minds might have been too expensive, if you understand what I'm saying.
And I run through that issue all the time. Like that's another. I have to be able, again, like you say, passion.
Oh God.
Searching for passion is. I've almost figured it to be like, okay, even when you said it, I don't want to tell you not because I want that too, but I'm like, okay, I can't search for that anymore.
Yeah, no, I have to have passion. I want someone outside my window with a blue box.
Like, because it's always been so one-sided, and I almost feel like sometimes I think back or even think while I'm in the moment, why am I giving so much of myself? Because that's what I mean, it's natural for me to give myself. Yeah. But then...
What sign are you?
Libra.
Okay.
I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah, you guys are really big into balance.
And so, but sometimes I want her happy and them happy, and
you don't end up being happy.
I don't be happy, but I haven't. I'm trying to balance that for so long, and I admit, for a long time, I didn't give the right energy to actually pursuing a woman, and I didn't feel that I was in a place. So I cut myself off from dating, and then I got used to not
being with anyone
and cutting myself off with dating, and being on this, I guess, perfection. I'm not that no one's perfect, but just harmony, just being in harmony.
Yeah, with yourself.
When I have integrated and dated and I started just being in my environment, and I didn't like that. I was dating people at my job, and
you don't ever date anyone you work with.
Can.
I think the right person will come. I do believe like when we were created, God did create someone for us, and I don't think anyone should settle. Like if I have to be single until I'm 62 and like meet the man of my dreams at 65, I'm okay with that. Because I don't ever want to settle and like, oh my God, her and her husband look so great together, but then I feel like shit. He's not the one, or he loves me more than I love him, like they usually tell you to do. I don't want that. Like, I do believe true love exists, passionate love exists, but we have to see beyond the facade. Like, you have to really be able to connect with someone and invest your energy in the people that genuinely are trying to get to know you. And I think I haven't really met someone that has really genuinely been trying to get to know me.
And I don't know, like, I feel that this generation now, men our job is to try to get to know you, like, and then I almost feel that
you know doing that, because send them my way, because I don't know any man that's like, oh my God, so what are you into, like, you know?
Well,
like, I don't know any men. They just first ask you,
okay,
later, what do you do?
When it started, I stopped asking for numbers and I start asking just for Instagram.
Okay, so that was the start.
And that was like almost, I thought I was slick. But then that started working to where I would kind of see what I'm being fed or what they're feeding.
They're only going to show you the good.
Their people. And then I guess that created a mentality of, I have to get this.
Yeah.
I've been cheated on because I've been gone.
Yeah.
So I have to be around. If I can't be around,
what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
It was a 60-day thing. I knew that if I would leave my woman and she was a certain level of attraction,
yeah,
for 60 days, she would not, and especially we're young.
See, and I think you were just dating the wrong people, though. And I'm always thankful, I would say, when God takes someone out of my life or they show me their true character, because I should be able to leave for 6 months, and you should still be able to hold it down. When people show me who they are or they do me wrong, I'm not even mad at you. Like, oh, you know what? I wish you well. God just has me to get one step closer to where I think I need to be. But I think our generation has lost that connection. Like,
and then not only basically, that's ruined my trust issue, and what also heightened my, I guess what I would say my preferences,
yeah,
and expectations, because I've been with women that cheated and got pregnant, and I understand it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think it's just they weren't the one. That's it. That's it.
And it just, and I dodged bullets. I think I messed up. I think I messed up a couple of good situations.
Yeah. But instead of thinking like,
chasing
why did
street
this
entertainment and chasing the rap thing, I blew it. And a lot of times with the generation, if you don't get into it early, you may miss out. But the idea is, why would you want to do it so early?
Yeah, I don't, and that's the thing, our generation doesn't communicate. People will literally talk to you on Instagram like, oh, I talked to her the other day. I notice now in our generation, men will text me all day. Sir, I like late night conversations and early morning texts. Like, I like, like, actually pick up the phone and call me. I'm a human.
I'm holding mine.
Not a robot. I'm a human being. Like,
I'm holding mine. I do give my conversation, and then I started this, but certain people don't need the conversation.
Yeah, but we're losing that though. People don't even know how to have a conversation.
And so I've been holding it. You're right, because I've been holding it for so long. So then it's like,
yeah, no, but like someone that you could talk to all day or sit on the phone with, like, oh, I'm like, that's what I want. I want that authentic love back. I don't want to just post you on Instagram and it looks good.
All day for that no more.
No, yes we do. We have to get back to that. Like, don't rush anything. When you rush it, it's not as substantial, I think. Like, I miss like having people that were in prison that were locked up, because the letters that we'd send back and forth to each other, like my homeboy, we used to write, we talked all the time. We'd always write letters back and forth. Like, I looked forward to those letters, like 5 pages of full communication.
Poetic justice, y'all.
I am justice in real life. Like, I missed that, and he actually like sent me a bunch of pictures of all the letters, and I was like, golly, I was like, we used to talk all the time, but I miss communicating with a human. I miss that.
Real communication.
Real communication, like, how's your heart? Like, man,
and that's why they're saying the what you doing text, the good morning text,
Grand Rising Queen,
the Grand Rising Queens or whatever. And I think that some of these moves there is genuineness out of some of these moves.
Some of them, yeah, for sure.
And I feel that some of you ladies may be batting away a potential based off of so many bad experiences with the cliche.
But I think when you've healed from those bad experiences, like, I always feel like when you're single, that's the perfect time to heal. Like, I've had to do healing from, situations that occurred. I had to do that healing, and healing literally hurts. Like, it hurt me to heal. And I'm like, oh God, I just gotta get through it. Let me write, let me run. I had it literally, I felt like my soul was eating my spirit.
Oh, man.
And you have to heal though. But when you're single, it's time to like pray, like, God, what do I need to fix? What do I need to change? But you need to heal. Like, people on Instagram are always like, oh, be my peace. No, come with your own peace. Yeah. Come with your own happiness.
Bring peace.
Bring peace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't come here with your demons that you refuse to sort out. Go to therapy. Go to church. Pray, whatever you need to do. But people want to mix demons with demons, and no one wants to heal, and no one wants to talk about it. Then you have these toxic relationships that are like you're living in hell, but on Instagram it looks like heaven. You know, what sense is that?
So we can't blame it on where you are. Is it the environment?
I think so.
I think I may need to go to another country. Personally.
I don't know, because I had a homegirl, she lived in Jacksonville. She was my neighbor when I lived in San Marco. As soon as she left Jacksonville, she moved to like a country town in New York and met her husband now. So I don't know, is it, well, I don't know.
And I don't think it's just Jacksonville.
I don't either.
I think it may be me and Jacksonville.
I don't know, I guess it's both.
Because maybe I frequent the wrong spots in Jacksonville and I don't know the right spots to find the person that I am looking for. And I admit, I can name a couple of spots that I don't go to.
I think you have to think about too what type of person you want to meet. I think my issue with dating, I know I do lack vulnerability. I am a Cancer, so I'm a Cancer woman to the core. So I'm in my shell, like I'll tiptoe out, and I was like, oh no, never mind. But a lot of us don't want to be vulnerable. Like we go back to say, like on Instagram, we just show what looks good. Being vulnerable and telling someone what you want, like it's like, damn, like I wouldn't say thirsty for love, but that's what we're meant to be here to do. But it's like, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to call too soon because then I don't want to look thirsty.
I have to hold mine.
But we got to get over that. Because if you want to be loved, you got to be vulnerable. And I'm learning that.
The thirsty kind of, like, I once contacted a woman every day for, I want to say, and I told her, I did this on purpose, and it was creepy as hell. But I looked at a woman. What were you saying when you were contacting her? I looked at a woman that I wanted on the internet, and I contacted her every day for 3 months straight.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I told her it was because I wanted to
get to know her.
I wanted to get to know her, but I wanted to train myself to. I have a problem with contacting anyone. If anyone knows me, I ain't calling.
Being vulnerable is like,
I don't call anybody. That's my thing.
I like that too. I think make men think I'm not interested because of that.
But I will call you. Like if it's like I will call you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't like double texting. I may not call you twice.
See, I like to be double text. Like, let me know you are thinking of me. Let me know that you like me. I want someone that's fully vulnerable.
One double text. Everyone gets one double text for.
See,
for
I
the
like
record.
that type of stuff.
Bring the
boombox outside my window.
But no, I said that I was gonna make this woman mine, and I caught her attention. I got her attention. We dated, but she never returned the receipt. It was never
reciprocated. And I think that's the thing, though. It's like we're all meant to be here to love. At the end of the day, that's our whole purpose. But when you are searching for water and someone's not giving it to you, it's like, okay, you know.
But no, it would just be at least once a day. I guess it was at the beginning of those good morning times, and it probably would just. I wouldn't always just be good morning. It would just be a contact, and I told her like it was. You don't even know me.
Yeah.
And then I got a number. I tried to call her a few times. She didn't want to call. She's from this new generation.
She only wanted to text. Yeah.
But that was red flag number one.
Because she wasn't giving something that you want. And you gotta know, when someone does not, I always suggest, my older coworker told me this, he's like, write down the top 10 things that you want in a man. And he's like, I'm talking about being specific. What do you want him to look like? Do you want him to be Catholic? Do you want him to be tall? Like, write down the 10 things, the qualities. You want him to be loyal, whatever you want that person to be. And when someone, like if you are someone that wants to talk on the phone and they don't give you that, don't water it down. Like, I think a lot of times you might be a whole ocean entertaining a river. You too much for that person, and that's okay. That is okay.
I got another one.
Listen, that is okay.
Hey, you are full of the jewels.
Listen, Jodie, it's okay. I'm just saying, not everyone's gonna be for us.
You are full of the jewels, Jodie.
And
even I know we were supposed to have this conversation a long time ago.
We were. We've been talking about it.
But I've been working on. Again, this is how I almost treat. It's like, but then I learned to just live.
Yeah.
And stop trying to be so perfect. And I was like, okay. First I was like, I have to read the second book. Oh man, I lost the book.
This is organic.
How can I talk to her? I haven't even read the second book. I don't know.
You'll get to it, and I got your signed copies right
And then
here.
I was like, are you sure you want to come? She was like, no, I want to come to the show.
Yeah, you text me today like, hey, are you still up for it? I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready. What are you talking about? Didn't she say 2 o'clock? But I like organic, like, I like this, you know, because anyone else would be like, oh, let me put on this, let me do this, or, you know, I like, we're missing that. We're missing organic vibes, like feeling everyone's going to be taping something. You're out like, hey, let's do, you know, it's just like, damn, I just want to vibe. I just want to chill.
Yeah.
But you brought, and I hope you never lose that about yourself, is just how organic it is. You got to keep that, because, like, as the years go on, we're going to, like, look back on these times like, damn, remember when we used to just have this, or, you know?
But it's just, it's part of social media. It's just,
it's growing.
It's frightening. It's like, it's like, I have to exude perfection.
Yeah. That's why I really pray that I always remain honest and I always remain humble. Like, because it's like, gosh, when you take away honesty, like, no one's gonna heal. You know, if I don't ever talk about my depression or being poor or damn near homeless, who's gonna?
And when I do that on the internet, they tell me, "Oh, you can't. You're not supposed to do that."
No, I will do that too till the day I die, because somebody else is going through it and they're not telling you about it, and you're saving someone else. Like, let people know that it's okay not to be perfect. No one's perfect. Let someone know it's okay to be human.
Yeah.
Like, damn, now everyone wants to. Like, I'm noticing a lot of these girls are starting to look alike. Like, everyone looks alike. I'm like, damn, I don't even know who's who. Everyone literally looks alike. All the guys dress alike. I feel like I'm an analog girl stuck in like a digital world. I'm like, wow. But we need the top 5% of people at least to remain where they are.
So y'all hear that, man? We got to break it down. We got to get back to the
honesty, the real shit.
Honesty, to the real shit. Yes. Pick up the book of real shit.
Yes.
You know, for
Amazon,
your comfort,
Barnes & Noble.
it's on Amazon.
Barnes & Noble. You can go get it on the DOZHATOLDYA.COM if you guys want signed copies, but definitely check it out. I hope it helps who it's
Before you leave, let's talk about, before you leave, I know I gotta let you go today because I've been holding you hostage for like hours.
We've been vibing,
listen,
as always.
On this energy.
Yes.
And you said you had, you look for energy, good energy. You're not, I want to say you're selling good energy, but let's talk.
Well, I'd rather sell good energy than sex. So that's a plus. I'll take it.
This box that you were speaking on.
The Heart Helper.
The Heart Helper.
Yeah, so just going back to like surrounding yourself with beings of light. So me and my best friend Dorian, like randomly, I'm just like, you know what, I really want to create a subscription box, and I want it to be a subscription box that really helps people to find the peace in their life and then maintain it and practice peace. So the Heart Helper is a monthly subscription box. It'll be $25. So every month you'll get things that will aid you towards being a well-rounded person. It's more so like holistic health. So you'll get incense, sage, crystals, natural soaps, natural lotions, and all of the businesses that I feature on a monthly basis, they're all Black-owned businesses. So it's affirmation cards, you know, that I want people to read every day. It's, you know, prayer cards. It's my book. So every month you'll get 5 full-size items. And it's just something that will help people to maintain their peace, practice their peace. And I call it the Heart Helper. Just because the foundation of it is the heart chakra, and your heart is the core of your being, just like the nucleus is the core of the cell. Like your heart, if your heart isn't good, nothing in your life will be good. So we're really focusing on healing hearts, helping hearts, and every month you will get something that will help you just become a being of light, maintain your peace, and practice peace. So that will be launching in January, so be on the lookout for it. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited about it.
The Heart Helper.
The Heart Helper. And I feel like I am the Heart Helper in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
You definitely.
DM me if you guys need a prayer, you know?
Like, you definitely care.
I do care. I do care. And you know,
sometimes we don't like that you care so much. I don't know. Like,
I'll never stop caring too much.
I don't know. Just as your brother, I'll be like, man,
receive love. And if I'm the one person that they can engage with and get it, free love over here. Like, what does Future say? Free bands? I'm free love. So, for sure.
Well, I thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun. And thank you for the one.
Yes, again, this is the Roll Up, a platform that I basically want to do this. I like, we need to point out things like the Heart Helper and the Book of Real Shit, and
Good
just
vibes.
People that bring great vibes, and they can just teach us a little something about ourselves. So thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We may have to do this again sometime in the future.
We do.
So go out there. When does the Heart Helper launch?
It will launch in January, yes. So you can subscribe in January. All boxes will be shipped out in February. And like I said, it's all Black-owned businesses. So when you support the Heart Helper, you are also supporting another business. All the products I've personally tried, and really, we're just trying to get everybody to have happy hearts.
And drop the Author Smith.
Yep, the author jsmith.com and also the hearthelper.com. You guys can sign up for notifications now. Follow me on Instagram, Bobby James, BOBBY JAMESSS.
I wanted you to say that because I didn't want to say the wrong one.
Follow Bobby James is my number one. Yeah, and I post about the Heart Helper on there, but the Heart Helper is on Instagram as well. But follow me. My main page is Bobby James, BOBBY JAMESSS. But definitely check me out, and you can get the book on Amazon. If you want signed copies, go on the authorjsmith.com. But just trying to do beautiful things in life, and just being be a being of light and be kind. That's it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Wait, Bobby James is spelled. How do you spell it?
BOBBY
Okay, 3 S's.
3 S's. That actually is one of my favorite NERD songs. It's a song called Bobby James, and that name has always stuck with me. Listen to the song if you haven't heard it.
Okay. Bobby James, aka the author Jodie Smith, here, aka my sister.
Yes.
I love to have conversations like this. This is just a beautiful thing, and can't wait to actually give this to the world.
Thank you.
So, anything that you want to leave us with?
I will just say, whoever's listening, whatever you're going through, just be honest about it. People can't help you unless you're honest about it. I hope that you have one friend, one family member, whether you're going through depression, battling anxiety, battling a drug addiction, whatever you're going through, please find one person that you could talk to about it. Even if you guys got to DM me about it, find one person. Like Maya Angelou says, no one can make it here alone. And I hope that you don't feel like you're alone, and reach out to someone. And I just hope that you guys receive light from this message.
Thank you for this message.
Yes.
This is Dame Doja, DOZHATOLDYA.COM, The Roll Up, signing out with the author Jodie Smith. DOZHATOLDYA.COM.